Hi, welcome to What's Up with DJ Now. Today we're making Instant Pot Sous Vide Ribeye Steak. Alright, let's get started. I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and click the bell symbol so you can be notified of future videos. This is our ribeye steak, and my ingredients I'm going to use to season it up: black ground pepper, sea salt, garlic sea salt, and some Worcestershire sauce. So let's start with the Worcestershire sauce. And I had to switch to my right hand because I'm right-handed, so I couldn't do it with my left hand. So we're going to season up this ribeye, put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce on it. And next I'm going to use the salt that I use. It's a garlic infused sea salt. It's really good. So I'm going to fresh ground some of that on there with my grinder. I get that on Amazon. It's a garlic sea salt. And the next thing I'm going to use is my 4 peppercorn fresh ground black pepper. It has 4 different color peppercorns in there. It's excellent. I also get that at Smart and Final, or you can get it on Amazon or anywhere. I'm going to use the automatic grinder on that. Put some pepper. And then next I'm going to put some thyme on here. And thyme is always good on the meats. It tastes really good. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of that on there. And then we're going to turn it over and do the same on the other side with the seasonings, the same thing. I'm really excited to use the sous vide function today on my Instant Pot. Sous vide is a French word which basically means under vacuum. We'll go a little into that as we get to that part, but I'm just putting that in. A lot of fancy restaurants do sous vide cooking. It makes your meat very, very tender. You can cook it to the exact temperature that you like. So if you like a steak at, say, rare, medium rare, well done, you just simply have to look up the temperature for that, and then just that's how it will cook in the sous vide. So we're finishing up here, putting the seasonings on the other side of this nice big ribeye steak. There's the close-up picture of it with the seasonings on it. Just the seasonings alone smell really good on this. And then next thing we're going to do is put it in a baggie. You can use a vacuum sealer, which I don't have and don't intend on buying one for just this. The Ziplock freezer bags will work fine. I could have used a bigger one, but I decided to go ahead and use the one that I had stored the meat in when it was frozen, so that I could not waste another bag, just use the one I have. It would be a little easier to seal it up maybe in a bigger bag, but it worked fine for me. And then I'm just going to dump the juices that are left in there, the Worcestershire sauce. And we're going to use a sealing method. We want to get all the air out of this Ziploc bag. And we're going to use something called the water displacement sealing version. You're going to have your water in your pot up to the maximum level. And you want to put the hottest water you can get from your tap water, because in that way it doesn't have to take as long to come up to the temperature it needs to be. And I was just showing you what the temperature was. My hottest tap water was about 114. Now you're going to want to submerge the bag into the water and shut the Ziploc all except the last little inch over there. And you're going to want to submerge the bag as much in the water as you can without getting any water into the bag. And what that does is it vacuum seals, and it forces all of the air out of the bag to where the food is going to be up plush against the plastic. So I'm sealing it now because I've submerged it enough, and you'll see that it's like sucked the food up against the bag. So it's a cheaper way of vacuum and sealing the bag in. Sealing the bag closed up. So I got it all sealed up now, and like I said, you want to put the hottest tap water you can get out of your faucet in your pot up to the maximum level line. And now that that's sealed, just double check, and then you can just let it be right there in your water. Then we're going to get the lid put on. And we're going to seal that lid. Now this model, the Duo Gourmet, automatically shuts your valve. So you're going to want to push this button that I'm pushing right now to open your steam valve, because we're not pressure cooking, we're going to use sous vide. So just push that down and make sure that your pressure's off. Now we're going to go and we're going to hit sous vide function button. Now this is where you put the temperature of your meat. I'm going to set mine at 144, which is medium well. On the verge of medium and medium well. So I set it at 144 temperature. That's why it has the Fahrenheit. We're going to hit the sous vide button again, and we're going to put how much time we want to cook it. Now the meat is meant to cook a long, slow time. I'm doing 1 minute and 50 seconds. I mean, not 1 minute, excuse me. 1 hour and a half. And then I'm just pushing the button to show you again that you can alternate between the temperature and the time. So I'm cooking it slow for 1 hour and a half at 144 degrees. Now it flips to on, and it will stay on until the temperature comes to 144. Then it will keep it at that level until it cooks. Now this is just a picture of the top where I was showing you to push where it says press. And that's just a sideways picture to show you that it's down, meaning your steam valve is up. Here's my buddy Sammy watching me because he knows he's going to get something later. Okay, it took about 30 minutes to bring the temperature to 144, and now the timer has started for 1 hour and a half. Okay, now the time is gone, 1 hour and a half has gone away. We're going to open the pot up. It's going to be hot with the steam. But remember, it did not pressure cook. So on this model of Instant Pot, you want to always have the valve open if you're slow cooking or doing sous vide or anything like that. Okay, we're going to take out our baggie of meat. And you'll see the juice in there from the Worcestershire sauce that was in there. Okay, this is how the meat looks after you take it out. It's completely done to the temperature that you've chosen. I'm going to turn on the pot now to set it to saute to the more. More means it'll be the hottest saute, the hottest temperature. And it's set for 10 minutes automatically, which is fine because we're not doing it for very long. Now it's going to hit on, and it's going to stay on until it comes to temperature. In between that time, we're going to want to take paper towels and simply blot off the moisture of the meat, because when you want to sear a piece of steak or meat, you don't want it to be wet. So I'm not rubbing it because it's got seasoning on it. I'm just going to pat it and get the extra, wetness, moisture off of both sides while we're waiting for the saute function to come up to hot. Once the machine reaches hot, then that's when you'll put in your butter, excuse me, and your food. So you just have to watch your Instant Pot for it to reach the temperature. Now this is the butter I'm going to use because when you want to sear your meat, you're going to want to do it with some butter or oil, or, butter's better because it tastes better with the steak. But if you don't want to do butter, you could do oil of your choice. This butter is really good. It tastes really good. And there's Sammy again. He's not amused. He's waiting. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the pot to say hot. Then I'm going to put my butter in there, about a tablespoon, and then we're going to sear our meat. Again, there's how the meat looks when it's dried off. Now it says hot, so it's time to put in our butter or our oil, whatever you prefer. About a tablespoon or so. And we're going to put our meat in there, and we're going to let it just cook for approximately 2 to 3 minutes on each side to get a nice caramelized brown crust. You can add more pepper or salt or seasonings if you feel like you need to. You can do that. I'm going to put a little more black pepper because I love my black pepper. A little bit more garlic sea salt. You don't need a lot because it's already been seasoned when it was cooking, but I'm just adding a little extra. Move it around a bit in there so it can get good contact. Now you don't have to do this in the Instant Pot. Some people prefer to heat up their cast iron skillet or, you know, their skillet that's non-stick, whatever you want to do. However you want to do it works fine. Because I'm doing this video on the Instant Pot, I decided to do it all on the Instant Pot. So now I've turned it, now it's on the other side. And I'm gonna pick that up and kind of show you it, how it's looking. I'm also gonna hold it on the side because I want to render that fat layer that's on the side of the steak. So I'm going to get the tongs and kind of hold that up so I can kind of get that part sauteed and sizzled and cooked up a little, browned up a little. You don't have to, it's just up to you if you do this or not. And you can sear it and brown it to your liking. If you want it longer, you can do it longer. All you're doing is giving the outside of the meat a nice, good, caramelized, you know, crust. It's already basically cooked on the inside to what you want. So you're not doing it for very long. You're just doing it long enough to give it that nice brown crust, you know, that you like on steaks. Okay, we're going to take that out. Here's a picture of it. And now I'm going to cut off this fat layer because I myself don't eat fat. I know some people do. They think that's part of the steak and they love it. To me, fat grosses me out. So I have to make sure I have no fat on the pieces I eat. Otherwise, I will spit it out. So I'm cutting that piece of fat off for you-know-who, Sammy boy. And he's standing right there watching me. Trust me, you'll see. So I'm going to cut off that fat there. And I'm going to cut that up so I can treat him to that. He's my boy, my baby. Come closer, Sammy. There you go, baby. Take it. First taste goes to Sammy. Okay, now I'm going to get back to cutting my piece, and I'm showing you the edge-to-edge cooking that the sous vide method does, which is edge-to-edge. You have the nice browning, but it cooks very evenly. Like I said, you decide how you want your inside. Well done, rare, medium well. You just choose the temperature that you like, and you'll get a perfect steak. Very juicy. Very, very tender. This steak was so good. I'm seeing a tiny little piece of fat, so I'm cutting that off. You know how I am with the fat, just a tiny little bit there, but you can see how tender it is just by me doing that. I used to always eat my steaks well done. Now as I'm older, I'm liking medium well. As long as it's not real bloody, I like it. I love A1. I know some people don't like A1 and they'll say, oh, you're ruining the steak. Eat it naturally. I like it naturally too, but I love A1. I'm sorry, but I do. So I'm getting me a little bit of A1. I'm going in there to get my first bite, my first taste. I'm going to show you how it looks up close. Trying to let the camera focus in on that, but there'll be some more better pictures later, but there it is. I'm going to try that first bite. And oh my God, it was so good. It was worth waiting an hour and a half to have that perfectly cooked steak. And here's my potatoes and my whole plate. I made a garlic 3-cheese mashed potato. Here's the steak and some pictures up close, so you can see how good it is. Sous vide can be used to make chicken, pork chops, roast, fish, anything you want to make. This was my first attempt. I will be doing other things to try it out. I think I'm going to do like a little turkey breast for Thanksgiving. So I'll probably do a video on that. Here's Sammy coming to get some more little pieces of fat. And I want to thank you all for watching my video, taking the time to come watch my video. It really helped my channel that I'm trying to get going. If you could like and subscribe to my channel. There's my empty plate. And you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.